Death is the greatest mystery of life. It is something everyone will face, yet very few truly understand it. Many fear death because it is unknown. Some try to avoid thinking about it, while others prepare for it in different ways. But what? But what if we look at death with awareness instead of fear? What if we understand what happens before, during, and after death? That is what we will explore today. Understanding death is crucial because it shapes how we live. If we believe life is temporary and uncertain, we might live in anxiety and insecurity. But if we see life as a journey where death is just another transition, we can embrace every moment with peace and clarity. Throughout history, humans have tried to make sense of death. Philosophers, scientists, and spiritual leaders, they have given different explanations. Some view it as the end, while others see it as the beginning of something new. Regardless of what one believes, death is universal and it is inevitable. And preparing for it mentally and emotionally, it can bring immense peace to us. We are going to die. We all know this truth. Yet we rarely live like we truly understand it. Every single day we wake up and act as if we have unlimited time. We get lost. We get lost in worries. We get lost in arguments. We get lost in fears and regrets, forgetting that our days are numbered. This life is not forever. One day, whether we are ready or not, it will end. Think about that moment. Really think about it. If we truly understand that it is certain, would we waste even a second of this precious life doing something we hate? Will we stay stuck in toxic relationships, meaningless jobs, or endless complaints? Would we let fear hold us back from pursuing what makes our hearts race? No. If we truly grasp the reality of death, we would live differently. We would embrace every moment. We would love fearlessly, dream courageously, and speak our truth without hesitation. So, why do we wait? Why do we postpone happiness? Why do we postpone adventure? Why do we postpone love? Why do we waste time trying to impress others or live up to someone else's expectations? None of it will matter in the end. The opinions of others, the social status, the petty fights, none of it will follow us when we are gone. What will matter is how we live, how deeply we loved, how boldly we pursued our purpose. We are not here for a long time. We are here to create, to inspire, to leave a mark, to make this life meant something. If there is something we dream of doing, we must do it now. If there is someone we love, we must tell them today. If there is a path we long to take, we must start walking. Time does not wait for us. Life does not pause for our fears. It is time to release the weight we carry. The weight of expectations, the weight of comparison, the weight of success defined by someone else. We must free ourselves from these burdens and live as we are meant to live. A year from now, our lives could be completely different if we just take the first step today. If there is something in our lives that no longer serves us, we must let it go. If we are traveling routines that suffocate us, we must break free. If we are waiting for the perfect moment, we must realize that the moment is now. Every day is a gift, and any day it could be our last. So, why waste it? Why not wake up every morning with excitement, ready to embrace whatever comes our way? Why not choose joy, choose love, choose courage? Why not live your life so full that when the end comes, we can say, I truly live. Remember, we are going to die. We are all going to die, but before that, we must make sure we have truly lived. Life is temporary, but people behave as if they will live forever. They spend their days worrying about money, worrying about status, worrying about relationships, and worrying about their achievements. But what happens when death comes? Everything is left behind. The house, the bank balance, the social recognition, none of it can take long. Despite knowing that life is temporary, many continue to live as if they are immune to death. The chase, the chase, who chase? They chase material positions, believing that accumulating wealth, it will bring happiness. They build grand houses, invest in business, and store large sums of money. Yet, when death knocks on the door, none of these things matter. The body, which is nurtured with so much care, eventually stops functioning. It is left behind, and everything that one worked for is divided among others. The illusion of permanence, it keeps people attached to worldly things. A person may accumulate wealth, but when the final moment arrives, even the richest person cannot carry a single coin. People might argue and fight over land, but the reality is that the land stays and they live. The land stays, they live. This illusion makes people attached to temporary things and forget the real purpose of life. The wise understand that while worldly positions provide comfort, they do not define the true purpose of life. The real wealth lies in experiences. The real wealth lies in wisdom and the good deeds done for others. Imagine a traveler who stays at a hotel for one night. He decorates the room, buys expensive furniture, and behaves as if he will live there forever. In the morning, he has to leave. In the morning, he has to leave. Life is just like that hotel stay. It is foolish to hold on to temporary things. Just like the traveler cannot take the furniture with him, people cannot take their wealth or possessions with them after their death. What remains is the impact they had on others, the love they shared, and the kindness they spread. That is better. When we feel broken, when we feel broken, when we feel defeated, when we feel lost, it often seems like life has taken everything from us. And the truth is, life never takes anything away without giving something in return. Sometimes that gift is a lesson. Sometimes it is strength. And sometimes it is a realization that we are much stronger than we ever thought. We often think that death is the end of life. But real death is when we stop living long before our time is up. When we surrender to fear, when we stop dreaming, when we stop believing in ourselves, that is when we truly die. Life is not about the number of breaths we take, but about the moments that take our breath away. Yet, how many of us truly live? How many of us dare to embrace our imperfections, our struggles, and our pain? Too often, we let our failures define us. Our scars, they shame us, and our past, it controls us. We let fear of judgment, rejection, loss, they hold us back from being who we truly are. Death is often perceived as the moment when the body ceases to function and heart stops beating. But many people experience a kind of death long before their physical end. It is a death that comes not from disease or not from age, but from surrendering to fear, surrendering to hopelessness, surrendering to despair. The real tragedy is not when life is taken from us, but when we stop living while we are still breathing. Every human being is born with a purpose, a spark, an energy that gives meaning to their existence. As children, we dream boundlessly, believing in endless possibilities. But as we grow, society, experiences, and challenges, they begin to shape our beliefs. Sometimes in ways that dim that inner light. We face failures, we face rejections, we face heartbreak and loss. They make us doubt ourselves. With every setback, we lose a little bit of that enthusiasm, and over time, many of us stop trying. This is where real death occurs. Not in the graveyard, but in the minds and in the hearts of those who have abandoned hope. Life is not merely about existing. It is about experiencing, it is about evolving, it is about embracing both the highs and lows of pain. Pain, challenges, and struggles, they are inevitable, but they are also proof that we are still living. When we allow hardships to define us, when we accept defeat without resistance, we bury ourselves in a prison of self-pity. We stop taking risks, stop dreaming, and stop fighting for the life once we envisioned. This is what it means to die before death. Imagine a person who once had a dream of becoming an artist, but he was told their work was not good enough. Instead of pushing forward, they let go of their passion and settle for a life that lacked creativity and joy. Think of someone who experienced a great loss, and instead of healing and moving forward, he chose to remain stuck in grief. These individuals are physically alive, but their spirit, their passion, their hope, it has withered away. They have allowed their circumstances to take away the essence of their existence. But life is not meant to live in a fear or regret. The human spirit is resilient, capable of rising even after the most devastating fall. It is never too late to reignite that fire, to reclaim the dream that were once abandoned. The key is to recognize the failure. The key is to recognize the loss. The key is to recognize the struggle. Do not define us. How we respond to them with that. Every challenge, it carries a lesson. Every setback, it carries an opportunity for growth. Those who truly live, they are the ones who refuse to be defeated by life's difficulties. They may stumble, they may fall, but they always get back up, refusing to let anything steal their spirit. At the end of the day, life is uncertain and time is limited. No one knows how long they have, but what truly matters is how they use the time they are given. There is nothing more painful than looking back and realizing that one never truly lived. That fear of failure, it kept them from experiencing life fully. The greatest mistake is not in failing, but in not trying at all. Every person has a choice to surrender to the struggle that come their way or to fight back, to let go of dreams or to chase them, to merely exist or truly live. The world is full of possibilities, but those possibilities mean nothing to someone who has already given up. We must not let ourselves die before our time. We must keep pushing, keep dreaming, and most importantly, keep living with purpose and passion. Life is a journey filled with unpredictable moments, both joys and challenges. No one is exempt from struggles. Nobody is exempt from hardships or pain. These difficulties often come uninvited, testing our strength, patience, and resilience. Many people see challenges as barriers, and as reasons to stop moving forward. They view failures as a sign that they are not capable, that life is unfair, or that they are destined to suffer. However, struggles are not the end of the road. They are the lessons, they are the opportunities, and they are the signs that growth is taking place. When faced with adversity, people react in one of two ways. They either surrender to their circumstances, allowing challenges to defeat them, or they embrace the struggle, using it as a fuel to rise stronger. The first path leads to stagnation, self-doubt, and ultimately a life filled with regret. The second path, though it's difficult, it leads to transformation, strength, and success. Those who choose to embrace their struggles, they understand that pain is not a punishment, but pain is a teacher. Every difficulty, it carries wisdom, and every hardship, it has the potential to shape a person into someone wiser, more resilient, and more compassionate. Consider the story of a tree that stands in the middle of a storm. When strong winds blow, it does not resist in fear. It bends, it adjusts, and it finds a way to stay rooted in the ground. Over time, because of those storms, the tree develops deeper roots, becoming even stronger than before. Similarly, when we face struggles, we have the opportunity to develop inner strength, emotional resilience, and deeper understanding of life. If everything were easy, if life never presented any challenges, there would be no growth. There would be no learning. There would be no depth to our experiences. Some of the most inspiring people in the world, they have faced unimaginable hardships. Yet, they refused to let their struggles define them. They took their pain and turned it into purpose. They understood that adversity is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of something greater. Their lives prove that struggles do not break people. They shape them. They shape them into warriors, into individuals who inspire others, and into souls that refuse to give up. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a joy. Struggles will come, but how we choose to respond to it makes all the difference. Many people allow their hardships to make them bitter, closing their hearts and shutting out the world. They see themselves as victims. They blame their lives. They blame their fate. They blame others for their misfortunes. However, those who embrace struggles with courage and acceptance, they find themselves transformed in ways they never imagined. They realize that strength is not about never failing. It is about getting back up. Every time they fall. In every struggle, there is a hidden opportunity, a chance to learn, a chance to grow, and a chance to discover our inner power. Sometimes struggles reveal strengths that a person never knew he had. Sometimes they lead to new beginnings, unexpected opportunities, and a greater self-awareness. The most beautiful things in life, they often come after the most painful time. Flowers bloom after enduring harsh winters, and the brightest sunrises, they come after the darkest nights. We cannot control the hardships that come our way, but we can control how we respond to them. Instead of seeing struggles as a reasons to give up, we must see them as stepping stones. Instead of letting pain define us, we must use it as a source of strength. Life is not about avoiding difficulties. It is about facing them head on and emerging stronger. The key is to embrace struggles, to trust that they have a purpose, and to remember that every challenge it overcomes is proof of resilience and courage. Let us not allow ourselves to die before our time. Let us live fully, fearlessly, and with unshakable passion. Fear of death, it comes from attachment. Fear of death comes from attachment. People are afraid of losing their loved ones, their positions, and their identity. But if one understands that the body is just a temporary shell, the real self is beyond birth and death. The fear of death often arises because people identify themselves with their physical form. They believe they are their name. They believe they are their body. They believe they are their social status. They believe they are their relationships. But all of these are temporary. The body ages, relationship change, and status fluctuates. Clinging to these temporary identities, it creates suffering. If we understand that life is like a play where each person has a role, then we can accept that one day the role will end. The wise accept this reality and prepare themselves by focusing on things that truly matter. Inner peace, love, and kindness. They truly matter. Those who live with this awareness do not fear death because they know they are more than just the body. A child cries when his toy breaks, but when he grows up, he realizes that the toy was just a temporary thing. In the same way, wisdom helps us to see that the body is just a temporary vehicle, while the soul, it continues its journey. When a child loses a toy, it feels like a great loss. But as the child matures, he realizes that toys come and toys go. Similarly, those who gain spiritual understanding, they realize that the body is just a temporary position. The real self is beyond the physical, and the death is merely a transition. What happens at the moment of death? The body stops functioning, but something beyond the body continues. Science cannot fully explain this phenomenon, but spiritual traditions, they describe death as a transition, not an end. Just like day comes into night, life comes into death, and then a new journey begins. At the time of death, a person's mind, it reflects on their entire life. If there is regret, if there is pain, if there is negativity, that energy follows them. If there is peace, if there is forgiveness, if there is positivity, that also follows. The last thoughts are powerful and influence what happens next. Many believe that the thoughts and emotions a person experiences in their final moments, they set the tone for their next phase of existence. A candle does not stop existing when it burns up. The light merges with the universe. Similarly, death is not the end, but a continuation in another form. Just as the flame of a candle may go out, but the energy continues in another form. Life does not cease at death. It merely transforms. Everyone will die one day. Everyone will die one day. But how one dies, it matters. A peaceful day, it comes when there is no regret, no fear, and no attachment. This is possible if one lives with awareness. If people prepare for death by living a meaningful and compassionate life, the transition becomes smooth. So, be kind to others. The love given to others is the only thing that remains. Live truthfully. A life of dishonesty, it creates heavy burdens. Let go of ego and grudges. Forgiveness brings peace. Accept death as a natural process. Fear disappears when there is understanding. A tree lets go of its leaves in autumn without sorrow. It knows new leaves will grow. Similarly, those who understand life do not fear death. They see it as a necessary change like the season. Different traditions, they have different beliefs about what happens after death. Some believe in reincarnation. Some believe in reincarnation, while others believe in liberation. One thing is certain, life does not end, it transforms. The human mind cannot fully comprehend what lies beyond death. But the law of nature, it suggests that nothing truly ends. Everything changes. Everything changes its form. What determines the next phase? It is not luck, nor is it random. It depends on the choices we made in life. A person who lived selfishly, he may struggle with the next phase. A person who lived with love, a person who lived with wisdom, they will have a smooth transition. Just as a farmer plants seeds and harvests crops accordingly. One's actions in life, they determine the experience after death. Death is not something to fear. It is a reminder to live fully, love deeply, and let go of what is unnecessary. Death teaches us that nothing is permanent except the impact we leave through our actions and feelings. To live without fear of death, understand that everything in life is temporary. Live with kindness and honesty. Let go of attachment. Let go of ego. Accept death is a natural process. When we live wisely, we do not fear death. Instead, we embrace it as a doorway to another self. The question is not when will we die, but how well we will live. Let us live in a way that when the final moment comes, we can smile. We can smile and say, I lived fully. I lived fully. I loved deeply. And I live without